Yeah, I'm quickly becoming a Mike Epps fan. Here my brother comes again with some straight talk, like real wisdom. This is John Hope Bryant talking about money and wealth. And it's also mindset. This is about getting your mind right. Because whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're absolutely right. Success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And if you, as I've said repeatedly, and I'm gonna pound it into your brain, if you hang around nine broke people, I guarantee you, you'll be the 10th. Your environment matters. And Mike Epps talks some truth. Look, a lot of black people, African Americans in particular, I'm gonna do a whole podcast on blacks and Africans, blacks and Caribbeans, African American blacks and Caribbean blacks and African American and African blacks, because we are all from the same root of the same tree. In fact, all human beings are from Africa. But the cultural differences matter because of our experiences are different, and all that matters and changes the endorphins in our brain. And some of us are in a surviving mindset, some of us are in a thriving, and some of us are in a winning and building mindset. So for those who are in a surviving mindset, who grew up in the hood, Mike Epps is talking about that experience, and I can relate to it growing up in Compton, California, and South Central Los Angeles. Mike is talking about, folks are not necessarily rooting for your success because a lot of us are depressed. Real talk now here, that maybe 70, 80%, this, I cannot confirm this to be a fact, I'm just telling you, 70, 80% of black people before the pandemic, African Americans, I think, were clinically undiagnosed depressed. And you can be the most loving person in the world, but if I'm depressed, I don't like me. So if I don't like me, I'm not gonna like you. If I don't feel good about me, I'm not gonna feel good about you. If I don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. If I don't love me, I don't have a clue how to love you. And if I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. Whatever goes around, comes around. And Mike is talking about growing up in the community he's now helped to revitalize, reinvested in, and he's talking about experiences he's had where folks are not necessarily happy about his success. They love it when he fails. They love it when he's on drugs. They love it when he's coming back off of drugs. They love it when he's down. They love it when he's had some kind of something that's befallen in his life. He's tripped and fell, and he's not feeling good. They're like, oh man, come on, man, I'm with you, brother. Let's get you back on track, because they can relate to his pain, but they cannot relate to his gain. They're not rooting for him when he's doing well. They're like, man, you sold out. What the heck does that mean? Man, you talking like you're white. What the heck does that mean? It's English. You're talking Japanese, you're either speaking Japanese or you're not. When you're speaking Spanish, you're either speaking Spanish or you're not. When you're speaking Russian, you're either speaking Russian or you're not. You're speaking French, you're either speaking French or you're not. When you're speaking English, you're either speaking English or you're not. When you're speaking capitalism, same thing applies. So I don't understand this craziness, right? Like, you can be bilingual. I can be down with my community in the streets and able to cut a business deal in the suites. You better be able to do that or you're gonna be broke. Real talk. And I'm not trying to hang around with a bunch of broke people and other than to visit maybe my neighborhood and try to inspire them to be better, to try to inspire them to come up from nothing. My last book, Up From Nothing, I have a new book coming out soon called Financial Literacy for All, which is a civil rights issue of this generation. But I want to inspire you to come up, but I'm not trying to sit around and let that toxicity jump on me, that depression jump on me. Just real talk. Like, I'm not trying to hang around people who are bringing me down. I can't guarantee you that being positive is going to make you a success, but I absolutely guarantee you that being negative will make you fail. And nobody wants to be with somebody around somebody who's depressed and talking down all the time. And we want encouragement. Listen to my podcast on relationship. Listen to that episode. And on marriage, if you're not better together, 2 plus 2 does not equal more than 4. What are you doing? You can do that all by yourself. So Mike is talking real talk, and he was talking. He's pouring his heart out, and we've got to admit that 400 years of mostly 400 years of being repressed in this country, certainly 200 to 300 years being repressed in this country as African Americans in ill treatment until the late 20th century, structurally and legally, has messed with our head, messed with our heart, messed with our spirit. And maybe we don't feel good about ourselves, and maybe as a result of that, we have crab in the barrel. Maybe we're trying to bring other people's down. You can't solve something unless you deal with it first. We are a beautiful people. We've been doing so much with so little for so long. We can almost do anything with nothing. Over to round it through it, we're going to get to it. Like, we are experts at surviving, but I don't want you surviving. I want you thriving. All right? I want you winning. I want you to be a winner builder. I want you to have a mindset that says, I am somebody and I want you to be somebody too. If I'm talking positively about something, about my successes, and I don't do it around a lot of people because they don't want to hear it. I know they don't want to hear it. They say what's going on. They don't really want to hear it because they're like, see, he's just bragging. Now, who says that? Think about it. That's like crazy. Why wouldn't you just be saying, my God, that's fantastic. Maybe that's some encouragement for me. Maybe I can learn from what's going on with what John's doing. But I know that a lot of people I hang around, a lot of people I am around, educated, this is not poor people now, sorry, not financially poor people, I'm talking about people who have done well, but psychologically they're messed up. I can read people in a minute. I can meet you in 2 minutes. I have read your spirit. And I can tell whether you're a hurt person or not, and whether you got attitude in your bones, or at least attitude in your head and your spirit, and whether you mean me no good. You're looking at me, you're smiling, but really you're sneering underneath your breath. Because, John, why is he successful? Why is he didn't go to the fraternity. He didn't go to this college. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. I paid these dues. He's not part of the club. I don't want to be part of your club, man. I never sought membership in your club. I'm focused on trying to get to my objective, and I want to bring you with me. Why don't you want to bring me with you? Why don't you root for my success, irrespective of how I got it? Maybe you can learn something from that. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we listen twice as much as we talk. But hurt people hurt people. Just real talk. We have got to move the toxicity out of our lives. God bless you, Mike Epps. Keep going, brother, and I'm glad you are sober now and you are speaking your truth. Hopefully all of this causes all of us in the black community to begin to deal with our stuff. What is the church in the black community and the low-income black community? An unofficial psychologist or shrink, it's our therapist. I don't want to go to a therapist. Somebody might think I'm crazy. If you're black in America and you don't think you're crazy, you are actually a little crazy. I'm out.